Live from NBC 25 in Flint, this is Mid-Michigan Now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stella Daskalakis.
I'm Mike Woolfolk. We begin tonight with an update on Victoria Thompson. The Tuscola County Sheriff's Office says the 16-year-old who had been missing since last weekend has been found alive.
That is good news, and it was posted just after 1 this afternoon. The Sheriff's Office is not releasing additional information right now, saying the case remains under investigation. But deputies are thanking everyone who shared posts and helped search for Victoria.
The teenager's sister had described Victoria as being on the autism spectrum and said she had left home with her dog around 2 Sunday morning. Family and community members had been searching for her ever since. Stay with Mid-Michigan Now for continuing updates as we learn more information on the case.
It's back to school season, and based on new data out tonight, teachers and students have some things to work on as the academic year gets underway.
The latest M-STEP scores show Michigan's youngest students are not progressing in at least one subject. In fact, they're going backwards as they continue to struggle with reading.
Mid-Michigan Now's Courtney Bennett is live in downtown Flint, where a back-to-school town hall is taking place. Courtney, do we expect this topic to come up for discussion?
You know, Stella and Mike, we're not sure if those M-STEP scores will come up. It's not on the official agenda for tonight, but that doesn't mean that anyone like Superintendent Kevlin Jones, who is here tonight representing Flint Community Schools, won't address it to people who are going to ask questions during the Q&A portion. Now, as you mentioned, those younger learners, those test scores are actually going in the wrong direction right now, and it's causing concern for some people in the states. According to state data, a little more than 60% of third graders aren't proficient in reading.
Our state does have a lot of work to do to improve student achievement.
Achievement that in some areas isn't getting better. Spokesperson for the state's teachers union, Thomas Morgan, believes more money needs to be spent. For instance, in 2024, 39.6% of third graders were proficient or advanced on the test. This year, that number was 38.9%.
We don't have a great reading curriculum across the state.
Michigan doesn't have a standard across-the-board curriculum for English language arts. Instead, school districts are given a guide, and they decide how to form their learning plan. Something Jared Skorup with the Mackinac Center for Public Policy says is a problem, especially with the amount of money allocated to schools.
You're talking $500,000 for every classroom worth of kids, way beyond what probably anyone watching was being spent on them when they were growing up and going to school, but it's not particularly effective.
In some cases, for some grades, those scores in math and ELA did get better this year.
Now, there's no question that without these education funding increases, our schools would be struggling more. So it is important to note, though, that Michigan is in the bottom half of the country when it comes to total per student funding that combines federal, state, and locals.
In the most recent passed budget by the Michigan House, that per pupil funding would increase by 20%.
If we're spending this amount of taxpayer dollars, then there has to be good curriculum, there has to be good uses of that funding, and parents need more choices in how to use it.
We need to make sure that as the state budget is being considered and finalized, that we're providing our local schools with the resources they need to attract and retain great educators, including literacy coaches and tutors and other critical positions.
Back out here live, that money that was passed by the Michigan House recently, that total would be nearly $22 billion for schools across the state of Michigan. For now, reporting live in Flint, Courtney Bennett, Mid-Michigan Now.
All right, Courtney, thank you for the live report there. Nationally tonight, we are tracking another mass shooting tragedy. 2 children are dead, 17 other people injured after a gunman opened fire on a Catholic church and school in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, this happened this morning at the Annunciation Catholic School. During Mass, police say the shooter had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol when he approached the church and shot through the window towards the kids. They were all sitting in pews. The 2 children killed were 8 and 10 years old. Among the 17 people injured, only 3 are adults, but they are all expected to recover. Police say the gunman killed himself in the parking lot. U.S. and Michigan flags have been lowered across the country and here in the state to honor the victims. Tom Yamas will have much more on this coming up at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News. A Saginaw City leader has been sentenced for election fraud tonight. Councilwoman Monique Lamar-Silvia was found guilty of several counts, including conspiracy, election forgery, and writing false information on a nominating petition. A judge has sentenced her to a year of probation and 140 hours of community service. At last check, she continues to sit on city council. She has not resigned, but other council members are calling for her seat to be vacated.
Mock Community College has a new trustee tonight. The board is appointing former Flint City Council member Santino Guerra to fill out the term vacated by former trustee Janet Couch. This morning's vote was 5-1 approving Guerra's appointment. He'll serve until the next regular board election, which is set for November of next year. Janet Couch resigned from the board in July.
Flint's Riverbank Park will see some nice upgrades thanks to a major federal grant. We're talking $5 million. Congresswoman Kristen McDonald-Rivet says the money will come through the National Park Service's Land and Water Conservation Fund. That money will pay for adding several new amenities to Riverbank Park, among them pavilions, picnic tables, barbecue stations, benches, bike racks, and more. The park will also get accessible paths, ramps, outdoor exercise stations, and refurbished restrooms. McDonald-Rivet calls the investment a transformative opportunity for the local community.
Tonight, we have more on the partnership between the Metro Police Authority of Genesee County and federal immigration authorities, which is drawing strong pushback from the community. We're hearing the MPA's reaction to criticism of the deal. Mid-Michigan Now's Andrea Flores has reaction from authorities and people who aren't happy about the agreement.
The Metro Police Authority has signed onto what's called a 287G task force agreement with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. The move allows a handful of local officers to get ICE training and enforce certain parts of immigration law while on duty. Under the agreement, trained officers will be able to identify undocumented immigrants who also face criminal charges, and in some cases, the officers can enforce ICE warrants. Metro Police Authority Chief Matthew Bade says the goal is to give officers another tool when dealing with criminal cases involving someone who may be undocumented.
It changes nothing how we operate. It absolutely changes nothing. The officers are going to still do their normal duties. This is only if they come across someone in the course of their normal duties in an enforcement action. And that means enforcing a criminal law, enforcing if someone's breaking the law. That's the only time we would employ this.
But at the MPA board's regular meeting on Wednesday, more than 30 people lined up to voice concerns. One resident telling the board the agreement sends the wrong message about the community.
The majority of Americans, not just the people in this room, do not support the way that ICE is working right now. It's complete chaos. And do we really want to be known as one of the few communities in Michigan that is closely partnering with that agency?
Others raised legal and financial concerns, warning the agreement could expose local taxpayers to lawsuits over Fourth Amendment violations.
You are putting yourselves and taxpayers of this county on the hook for millions of dollars of liability. You will be on the hook for unjust seizures carried out at ICE's request.
Chief Bade is pushing back on those claims, saying the department will only act when a crime is involved, and officers will not be conducting raids or sweeps.
We're going to enforce our criminal laws, whether someone's documented or undocumented. That's how we look at this. So this just gives us a tool.
The Metro Police Authority is moving forward with the agreement. The chief says 5 officers will soon undergo federal training. Residents at the meeting feel the agreement will do more harm than good, and they would like more of a say in how local policing is carried out. In the studio, Andrea Flores, Mid-Michigan Now.
A health alert tonight. Officials say West Nile virus has been confirmed in Genesee County. The virus was found in a bird in Flushing Township. This is the first positive animal arbovirus case in the county this year. West Nile can spread to humans through infected mosquitoes. Officials say the best way to protect yourself is to prevent mosquito bites. Wear pants and long-sleeved shirts when outside. Also use insect repellent and remove any standing water.